The boy from Olusosun. Long before millions of football fans knew his name, Malik Adeyemi was just another poor boy growing up in Olusosun, a struggling community beside one of Africa's largest landfills in Lagos, Nigeria. Malik's life began with tragedy. When he was only a toddler, his mother passed away, leaving his father alone to raise 7 children under crushing poverty. Only a few months later, his father lost his job. The family was forced to survive inside a tiny one-room shack where hunger was a frequent visitor and hope was often in short supply. To help the family survive, Malik and his siblings spent their days selling sachets of water and newspapers in the dangerous Lagos traffic. Every coin mattered. Some days the family ate, some days they didn't. But while poverty surrounded him, Malik carried something nobody could take away: a dream. Every evening after work, he ran to dusty football fields and played until darkness swallowed the sky. While other children played for fun, Malik played with purpose. He believed football could become his escape from poverty. People laughed at him. Neighbors told him to focus on survival. Friends slowly gave up on their dreams, but Malik refused to quit. One night, after watching his son train long after everyone else had gone home, Malik's father asked him why he worked so hard for a game that offered no guarantees. Malik looked at his father and made a promise. One day, football would change their lives. Years later, opportunity finally arrived. A national youth football trial was being held, attracting more than 900 young players from across Nigeria. Malik traveled to the trial, knowing this could be his only chance. The competition was brutal. Coaches barely had time to evaluate every player. When Malik finally stepped onto the pitch, he was given only 15 minutes to prove himself. 15 minutes to change his future. 15 minutes to escape poverty. 15 minutes to save his dream. He ran harder than he had ever run before. He chased every ball. He fought for every opportunity. And before the trial ended, he scored twice. The coaches noticed. For the first time, a door opened. Soon afterward, Malik earned a place in Nigeria's under-17 national team. The tournament would take place on the other side of the world. Most people expected Nigeria to perform well. Nobody expected Malik to become the tournament's biggest star. Match after match, he scored. Goal after goal, the world took notice. By the end of the competition, Malik had scored 10 goals, breaking records and leading Nigeria to the championship. The boy who once sold water in traffic had become an international sensation. European clubs began competing for his signature. For Malik and his family, it felt like the beginning of a new life. A move to Germany soon followed. The dream of Europe had finally become reality, or so he thought. Instead of success, Malik found hardship. The weather was unfamiliar. The language was unfamiliar. The culture felt distant. Then came injuries. Then illness. Then disappointment. The goals disappeared. The confidence disappeared. Critics began questioning whether his success at youth level had been a fluke. The same people who once praised him now doubted him. For the first time since childhood, Malik felt lost. Everything he had fought for seemed to be slipping away. But just when it appeared his career might collapse, another opportunity arrived. A team in Belgium offered him a second chance. There were no grand headlines, no massive expectations, only a simple opportunity to prove himself again. Malik embraced it. The hunger that had carried him through poverty returned. The determination that had pushed him through Lagos traffic returned. And the goals returned. Soon, he became one of the most dangerous strikers in the country. His performances attracted attention from bigger clubs across Europe. Before long, he earned a move to France. There, Malik elevated his game even further. Defenders struggled to stop him. Fans fell in love with his energy. Scouts recognized his potential. And one of Italy's biggest clubs came calling. The transfer was massive. The expectations were enormous. But before Malik could begin the next chapter of his journey, tragedy struck once again. He received devastating news from home. His father had passed away, the man who raised 7 children alone, the man who sacrificed everything after losing his wife, the man who believed in Malik long before the world believed in him. The news shattered him. For a time, football felt meaningless. The promise he made as a child suddenly felt impossible to celebrate. The one person he wanted beside him was gone. But Malik remembered something. His father had spent his entire life fighting for his children. Giving up would dishonor those sacrifices. So he continued, not for fame, not for money, but for family. When Malik arrived in Italy, pressure surrounded him. Many questioned whether he was worth the investment. Others doubted he could handle the expectations. Malik responded the only way he knew how, with goals. Week after week, he delivered. Season after season, he improved. Then came the historic campaign. For 33 years, the club's supporters had waited for another league title. Entire generations had grown old, waiting. But this time was different. Malik became the symbol of belief. Malik became the symbol of belief. His goals powered the team toward history. When the title was finally secured, celebrations erupted throughout the city. Fireworks lit the sky. People filled the streets. Supporters cried tears of joy. And standing at the center of it all was Malik, the boy from Olusosun, the boy who once sold water in traffic, the boy who once played barefoot on dusty fields, now a champion. As he lifted the trophy, tears filled his eyes. Not because of the title, not because of the fame, but because he remembered the promise he had made years earlier. The promise to his father, a promise fulfilled too late for the man who inspired it. Soon after, Malik was crowned Africa's best football player, a recognition that confirmed his place among the continent's greatest stars. Later, he accepted a new challenge in Turkey, where he continued scoring goals and winning trophies while proving his success was no accident. But despite all the fame, Malik never forgot where he came from. He returned to Nigeria. He returned to Olusosun. The same roads, the same neighborhoods, the same traffic lights. He created opportunities for struggling families, supported young dreamers, helped people living with disabilities, provided jobs for unemployed youth, and most importantly, he lifted his family from poverty. The siblings who once shared a tiny room now lived comfortably. The relatives who once worried about their next meal now had security. The friends who stood beside him during the hardest days shared in his success. Years after winning the historic league title in Italy, Malik gathered his family together, not beside a landfill, not inside a shack, but beside the trophies they had all sacrificed for. Because the victory had never belonged to him alone. It belonged to every person who endured the struggle alongside him. And somewhere in Olusosun today, another young boy is selling water in traffic. Another young boy is dreaming. Another young boy is hoping. The difference is that now he knows something Malik never knew when he was his age. He knows that somebody from Olusosun already proved that dreams can escape even the darkest places, and that somebody was Malik Adeyemi.